So, so I was discussing about the different types of codes, vivo codes, spread code, and narrow coding. So the another thing that you need to understand here is full auto coding. This is another type of coding scheme that you need to understand if you would like to auto code your transcribed data and you do not have enough time to code your data manually, it will automatically create some code on your behalf. So in case of this option, you simply click any transcribed file, for example, R1, click on the auto code ribbon and it will generate some codes. So like this, if you select one file and go to auto code, it will automatically code your data. Check identify themes and click next. So let me show you this procedure. For example, uh, I go to the interview files and I select R6 because this data is transcribed and this is not used previously. Now I select this one for auto coding procedure. So what I need to do is I go to auto code. Now what I need to do, check identify themes and click next. So what I need to do, identify themes and click next. After clicking on next again, click on next. Now it will download some codes which are relevant with these data. So it will take some time. It is showing 14 minutes, but it will take less than 5 minutes to automatically code your transcribed data. Always remember that this procedure is only workable in case you have an active internet connection as well as you have NVIVO 14 version because this facility is not available in NVIVO 12 version. So if you have lesser amount of time, you have no time to create manual coding procedure, then automatic coding procedure is valid there, but it will not give 100% accurate codes which are required by you because uh, you better know the objective of your study. The software does not know the objective of your study, the purpose of your study, what are the research questions, what are the objectives of your study, what are the aims of your study. So I personally recommend that the coding procedure should be manual. But if you believe that after creating automatic codes, you would be able to delete some irrelevant codes from there, you can apply the automatic coding procedure. So that's why this procedure is used. So before it's complete, uh, the automatic coding procedure, we would see the other detail of it. Again, click on the next and wait for the process to complete. It will take a couple of minutes, so be patient. So this is basically the suggestion which is required for completing the automatic coding procedure. It looks like it. So you need to wait for a couple of minutes. This option will create the open codes and axial codes based on their frequency of occurrences in the transcribed data. So always remember that you need to check a particular transcribed file. You cannot create automatic codes on audio or video file. If the audio or video file is already transcribed, then automatic codes can be created on the transcribed data, not on the audio or video files. So always remember that you need a transcribed data for creating the uh, automatic coding procedure. The next thing that you need to understand, you can click next if you want to retain all the code. Otherwise, you can choose as per your requirement. Once the codes are generated, you can verify which codes are relevant for your research and which are not relevant. So you need to choose between the generated codes, and you can skip the remaining codes or unnecessary codes from the procedure. If you want to code sentences, open coding, select the code sentence. Otherwise, code paragraph and click next. So code sentence means open coding. So what it has done, all right, previous audio was recorded. So if you select code sentences, it means open codes are created. If you select the paragraph, it's mean basically axial coding. So always try to align your research objective for auto-coded themes. So it will looks like it when you open it. So let me check. It's still showing 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, we would be able to see the auto coding procedure. In the meanwhile, we would be able to discuss further. After the auto codes has been generated, you need to click on finish now. So it will give you two options. One option is for code sentences. If you are interested in creating line by line coding, this is known as open code. And here it is basically code sentences. And if you are interested in coding the whole paragraph, then you need to select code paragraph from here and click next. It will create the themes and hierarchical charts of auto code, but I will suggest that you should choose manual coding, as the software cannot understand the purpose of your research info. So I have already discussed this. So merging, demerging, coding, organizing code, categorizing codes, axial code, selective code. It is the stage where initial codes, open codes are organized, categorized into axial codes, and axial codes are further categorized into selective codes. If you remember, I have already told you this technique that after creating the open codes, you basically merge them into axial codes, and from axial codes you merge them into selective codes. So this part we have already done yesterday. So how this procedure is basically used, you create a code with the name that represent a specific category for a number of open codes or initial codes. For example, the initial codes in the above picture can be categorized into familiarity. Right click in the blank area of your existing codes to create new codes. And then what we need to do, we can create axial codes. Click on new codes from the drop down menu, write the codes as a name as familiarity and click OK. We have already done this procedure because we have created the axial codes and selected codes. Drag and drop your initial codes completely, etc., one by one into their specific category. That is the procedure which is known as drag and drop. So click your initial code one time, hold left mouse button and drag into your axial code. So this is the procedure we have already discussed. Now click on the plus sign with familiarity. Now this is where you can see what kind of open codes are available with your axial code. So axial code here is familiarity, while completely familiar with terms and concepts, no familiarity. These are the open codes which are known as line by line coding. So you can see in front of familiarity, 0 is written under files and references. It means we need to aggregate our coding from our open codes children's into their axial codes parents. So this is the procedure I have already discussed. You just need to right click on your axial codes and you will see uh, aggregate coding from children to their parents. This is the option that would be available on right click on this option. So you can aggregate your codings. Then Now you can see changes in your axial code familiarity under the files and references. As I have already told you that under file and references, it would show you what kind of things you have discussed here. In the same way, you can create your other axial codes. Furthermore, you can create your selective codes or major themes using the same procedure. In that case, axial codes will be dragged and dropped by categorizing into their selective codes, and then you will aggregate their coding in the same way as you done in your axial coding. The next part is creating memos, but before we discuss it, we need to finalize the last part, which is automatic coding, in order to see how much percentage it has done. It is still showing 9 minutes to complete, because before making it complete, we cannot do any further analysis here, any further process here. So we need to wait for a couple of minutes more. It is showing that 130 MB has been generated as a themes or as a initial course, while there are total 253 MB data which is required. So we are approximately more than 100 MB away from the actual procedure. It takes about 246 KB per second data transformation here. So we need to wait here for a couple of more minutes in order to see what is basically required. So meanwhile, I would like to stop recording here. Before the procedure is completed, I will start the recordings again. So these are the automatic codes that are generated from the process that we were previously following, auto coding. So it has generated open codes and axial code. If you see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 axial codes has been generated on respondent 6 transcribed data. So you can verify whether the codes are relevant to those or not. So here a lot of axial codes and some other codes has been generated. So we need to verify. For example, if we are not interested in a particular code, we can uncheck it. For example, if I think that this code is not relevant, I can uncheck it. The remaining, if I want to keep them, I can click on next, and it is asking me whether I need to have open codes and paragraph codes. So at first I need to have codes relevant to each sentence. So I click next, and I click finish. Now it will generate a lot of automatic codes. It is up to me whether I accept those codes or not. So with respondent 6, I have a lot of code generated, and I have a lot of initial visualization I have created here. So this is the procedure, this is the automatic coding procedure that you can apply here. So it was the today's discussion. From tomorrow, we will discuss the next part. The next part is related to the creating memos part. It is another thing that you need to learn here. We have so far discussed the importing procedure, coding creation procedure, and I will let you know how the cases, case classification, file classification works. I will somehow let you know the memos procedure, how to create the memos. So tomorrow we will discuss the memos procedure, why they are created and how they are created, how to create annotation, and also see the links. Tomorrow I will also discuss the cases relevant to the procedure case classification. I will let you know. how to create the case classification, and file classification I will let you know. It is similar to demographic analysis that we have done with SPSS data analysis. It is similar to demographic analysis, but the way is different here in this software. So I will let you know tomorrow the further procedure. Till then, if you have any question relevant to today's part, you can ask. Dave, do you have any question relevant to today's part?
No, no question, sir.
All
It
right.
is helpful. We can do from observing the video also.
Yes, yes, yes. You can also observe the videos. It is very helpful. But try to resolve your issue at first. The software installation issue, the software initialization issue at your end should be resolved in order to practice what is being taught here and what you are going to see in other videos too. So try to resolve
Okay,
the
sir.
issue of initialization of your software as early as possible to make more
Okay, sir.
complex
Okay.
part clear. So thank you very much for joining. Let's meet tomorrow for another part, and another complicated part. We will try, and we will try our best to teach or to understand more and more concepts. So thank you very much for joining. Stay blessed,
Okay,
and
thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
thank you.